Hello, everybody, and welcome to Hardcore Heroes. How you guys doing today?
I'm doing okay. I played a video game for the first time in like 3 weeks last night, and that
My
was
God.
yeah, I was
What-
getting the shakes, and I was just snorting cocaine left and right to keep my mind off of it.
Did you not play video games all summer long?
No, for like a few weeks because it's been a really
Few
busy
weeks.
semester.
Oh yeah, you did say September. It's not that bad.
Yeah, it's still pretty miserable.
I've just come back from Spain, Mallorca, which is very nice, relaxing. Making some good food. Roast dinner today, paella the other day.
I've seen your posts in the food channel and Discord.
Paella was great. I bought the rice specifically from Spain. It's called
What do you
bomba
call it?
rice.
Paella?
Paella, if you want to be like Spanish, I guess.
Okay, there we go.
Yeah, this bomba rice, it's called. It's a very small crop. You can't get it in many other places outside of Spain. It's like the perfect paella rice. So that was very good. What else is going on? Supreme Court ruled against Boris Johnson, so that's good. Happy about that.
I heard about that.
What was that about?
That he unlawfully prorogued Parliament.
But what has come of that, other than Parliament like getting their shit back together?
Nothing so far. He's not even said sorry or anything.
This is why you don't have faith in judges. No, wait, you do have faith in judges, actually. Sorry. It's the other way around.
Found to be lying to the Queen, unlawfully shut down our Parliament, doesn't apologise. I mean, okay, fair enough.
Does the Queen get to come out and like hit him with her handbag or something?
It's in the papers today that the Queen might like fire him, because there's a law that he's going to have to ask for an extension by the 17th of October if he's not got a deal approved by Parliament. And there's like talk like, if he refuses to resign and refuses to follow the law, could the Queen sack him? Which would be pretty sweet.
Could she behead him?
I don't think she could be beheaded, but here's my ideal scenario for it, right? The Queen hasn't got that much political goodwill, I don't think. So I feel like if the Queen dismisses Boris Johnson, that might be the end of the royal family. So best case scenario in this is the Tories get chucked out of office, and then we can get rid of the monarchy all in one fucking foul swoop.
Ooh.
That would be sweet.
That would be sweet. I'm glad to see that you've changed your mind on this. In the past, you've been very defensive of the Queen.
I don't know about that, Neil. Have I?
Yeah, definitely.
I think so.
I've given you all sorts of shit for still having
honestly,
a monarchy.
This is like one of the first times I've ever heard a British person say anything even remotely bad about their royal family.
It's not a popular opinion. It's a really good one to bust out in like dinner parties. So my girlfriend's mum is the most polite, like anti-confrontational person in the world, but she absolutely loves the Queen. Like, just absolutely loves her. And every now and again, I'll be when we'll be out for dinner, I'll mention like this kind of thing, and she just looks so uncomfortable because she's too anti-confrontational to say anything about it. So she's just like really trying to avoid looking at.
So you're just abusing that power.
Yeah. It's a lot of good fun.
Wow. It's nice.
Oh, roll 20.
Yep, y'all should jump into roll 20.
Hey, I'm ahead of you.
Wow.
Let's see. I saw the new Quentin Tarantino movie last night, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. It was really good. But if you're going to see it, you should read up on the Charles Manson killings before you watch the movie, because it plays a central role in the movie. And like, it's sort of like on the side and in the background, but it's really central. And if you don't know anything about the Charles Manson killings, the movie might not make a lot of sense. It was.
I learned something about
fantastic.
Charles Manson in Mindhunter. I don't know if you watched that. That was sick.
Yeah, I haven't seen it, but yeah.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to see that. It looks good. I do like Quentin Tarantino.
I mean, he doesn't frequently do comedies, but this one is sort of a comedy.
Oh, okay, cool.
It's really good. It's really fantastic. I thoroughly enjoyed it.
Have you seen the Joker movie?
I haven't.
No, I'm thinking about seeing it because I've heard it's apparently amazing, and then I've heard other people complain that it's very mediocre.
I think it's ruffled some feathers. Apparently, I don't know.
Yeah, a lot of people are saying it's incel propaganda.
Yeah, which makes me laugh a little bit, to be honest.
I don't think it's incel propaganda.
Like, it's anti-incel propaganda, right? Like, he's
a little. It doesn't. His whole like descent into crime start because he like helps a woman who's being harassed on a train and winds up shooting 3 guys dead.
Typical incel stuff. That women just don't go for nice guys these days. Like, you like murder 3 people. How can that not? How does that not?
Have either of you seen Scott Pilgrim versus the World?
Yeah, that's fantastic.
So
cool. I just saw that like the other day. That was a good movie.
I've been meaning to watch that again. Actually, that's a good one.
Yeah, no, it's Edgar Wright's a great director, and I had this point where it's like, is this an Edgar Wright film? Because you can tell from the way that he directs and the way that he does scene transitions.
Mm-hmm.
Like everything just kind of pops into frame, and it's very compelling.
All right.
Well, I guess with that, we should really and truly hop into game here. So, where last we left, Malachi was hanging out near some tomb way the fuck over here.
Yes.
Yep. And Van Helsing was traveling all over the world trying to figure out how to get to the souls of the people that he left behind in the Shadow Realm. And last we left him, he was down here in Bontheris. So there's a little bit of time before the two of you meet back up. So Van, we're going to try and hand wave this shit quickly and easily. So what do you do while you wait for Malachi?
I'm going to reflecting pool some locations that we can go to. Yeah, I want to know. Let me check here. I just need to make sure that I can scry places as well as people really fast. Crystal ball. It's the same as a crystal ball. I always forget that I have to like pull up the spell and it's like you need the DMG and you're like
yeah.
Okay. Dungeon Master's Guide. Treasure magical items.
Got to go find the crystal ball at the back of the DMG.
List of magical items. Crystal ball. Here we go. Let's know the subject to be viewed.
At the risk of interrupting when I'm not meant to be, maybe if you get a map of Solemn, you can like.
Well, I think I'm just trying to see if it can be a thing as well as like a person. 'Cause up to this point, I think we've only ever scryed on like a creature. With this spell.
Yeah, maybe.
So we might need to wait until you're back to use your scrying spell because you have one of those, right?
Yeah, clairvoyance.
Yeah, so I can't really tell from this, Neal, because it's a little vague in the wording. What do you think about the ability to crystal ball places as well as people? No, I'm trying to do places now because I've only ever done people before, and it's a little bit vague. It says the subject to be viewed, which isn't a creature, which is a little bizarre.
Must know the subject. Knowledge can be personal acquaintance, possession of personal belongings, a likeness of the object, or accumulated information. Knowledge rather than distance is the key. Viewing beyond. Only creatures have a chance of noticing.
So you can definitely do it on objects that says a likeness of the object. So I don't see why you couldn't do it.
Oh, okay. So I could like scry over the temple because there was like, what was the name of the temple that we're trying to go to again?
Temple at the end of the world. Something Rift. Something Rift.
Lower Rift.
Lower Rift. That's right.
Yeah, it sounds delightful. All right. Yeah, so let's try scrying. It's about a 20% chance, I think, because I'm only slightly informed of. Yeah. But I've got like a month to do this, so we're just going to go until I get something below a 20. Hey!
Boom! Look at that first try.
All right, so I'm trying to like scry in the air with like a nice aerial view of the temple at the end of the world.
You know the area. 4 is enough for you to. Oh yeah,
20 or below is what I need. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Okay. You get a overview of woods, of a big, vast forest that sort of stretches to the ends of what your reflecting pool will allow you, with I don't know, tall trees poking out here and there, but no sign of a specific temple.
Interesting. Is the crystal ball able to zoom or like retract its view at all?
No, I don't think it's going to be a Google Maps.
Okay, are there any openings in this woods?
No, it's quite thick. Canopy is nice and dense. There might be, like a small meadow over here or over there, but nothing substantial, and no sign of any sort of buildings or structures or civilization or temples or end of the world or rifts.
Okay, so that seems more like an underground sort of deal. Or destroyed, one or the other. Could be either one. Let's try. So that was day 1. So let's try. We're gonna try scrying the entrance to the temple at the end of the world.
Okay.
Nope. Hey.
Excellent. Right, so you have the exact same view of the forest from above.
Okay. Huh. All right, we're gonna try and scry inside of the temple.
Okay.
No. There we go.
You get the exact same view of the forest from above.
Okay, something's
How long
wrong here.
has this taken you? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
I've got about
days.
3 more weeks.
Cool, yeah. So
you do it twice a day. Sorry.
After a week or so, whatever, of doing this, you keep getting more or less the same view of the same stretch of forest, despite trying to definitely look at the temple,
and move
look inside.
Around a little bit. It's all coming back the same. Okay,
but it's all coming to the same point of view.
I'm going to go down to the temple. I don't remember her name. What's the name of the cleric here?
In town?
Yeah, the one in Bontheris. The one who told me about the world stuff.
Right. Let's see. Maybe it's in one of my notebooks somewhere. Let me start searching, but I can't remember.
Okay.
Mother something something something.
Sure. Mother something something something. I'm wondering what you know about Solemn. I'm trying to scry a particular location there, but I'm getting back nothing. I was wondering if you know any other locations. I need to travel to the temple at the end of the world, but my attempts to locate it thus far have been inconclusive. Do you know any other cities in the area that I might be able to scry on?
Yes. The temple is located deep within a forest. The nearest town to it is known as Riftwatch. And it sits upon a vast lake. On the edge of a vast lake.
Okay. Is it closed off to outsiders? Can people travel there?
They can. Okay. Although you should seek guidance from those within the city to get to the temple, which is quite far away.
Right. I was just mostly we're probably going to pop into existence inside of that town. I want to make sure we're not going to be receiving an unhappy welcome.
Riftwatch on Thornton's Lake.
Okay. Do you know anything else about it? Anything that would help me be more well-informed of it for that extra 5% chance?
She makes an intelligence check. Ooh, and succeeds. Know more about the town? Or know more about what?
The geography of the area, mostly. Or like visuals, anything that could help me paint a picture in my head about it would help.
But what is it?
The town. We're going to try and go into the town.
Yes.
Architecture,
Let's see.
maybe?
It is a walled city, walled town, complete with many guards that are, let's see. As I recall, if I remember my history lessons, the town is walled and guarded and has a separate faction within it that is there to keep the town as a waypoint to the temple. So you've got the town with the walls, and then the town guard, which is a separate organization from the inner guard that sort of manages the transportation to and from the lower rift.
So they're for pilgrims.
Pilgrims and clerics and, those sorts of things. Those that need to know. But they're quite distant, and the woods are quite thick and dense.
I see. Thank you very much, Mother. And I'm going to go and try and scry on this Riftwatch place. So it's 25, if you're willing to let that be well informed of.
Sure-ish, something like that. Let's hope you roll below 20.
All right, so it might be a week or so of this. Might be 2 weeks or so of this.
Oh, God.
I can do 2 per day. So
there we go.
Nice rolls.
That's probably at least a week.
Are there any components required to do this spell?
I only need a basin of clear water. which is no problem since I'm in a mansion. Yeah, it's intended to mimic a crystal ball. So it's like, as long as you have the setup for it, you're good.
All right. You get a view of this town from fairly close to it. What you see are ruined buildings that have been knocked over. Things have been more or less destroyed, but also left to sit for long enough that grasses are starting to grow up between things and small trees and bushes are sprouting around the town. You get the impression it's been destroyed for a few years at least in order for this much like foliage to grow in and amongst it.
Okay. Are there anything, like any buildings that look like they're still standing in terms of like structurally, like they might have a few stories to them?
That's a good question.
I have artistic ability, so I'm going to start sketching out anything that looks like a likely candidate for landing with a teleportation spell.
There is a collapsed tower that has like fallen, but not all the way. Like it's fallen against some other stuff, and now there's like a section of tower that hangs out over nothingness. You know, so that's sort of like that might work.
Yeah, basically anything that looks like, because I know we can go up or down with that, and up is fine. We just fall a little bit, but down is bad. So I'm looking for us to arrive like 10 to 20 feet off the ground is the goal with this. So I'm going to sketch out anything that that looks like it might be a candidate for landing, and with a better, like both mental image from studying it and also from having a drawing of it, I'm going to attempt to scry like closer up on any of these collapsed places.
Sure, you can take a look at this tower in more detail now that you've sort of examined it and sketched it. I don't know what the categories are, 50%. But I would say, you've got a good picture of it.
There we go.
Beautiful. So you get a good look at this ruined tower. I think from the angle that your viewing is kind of above, but also to the side, you can look down the top of the tower. It looks like the roof is collapsed. There is some sort of large animal's nest with like branches and twigs and little fluffy stuff, some sort of like large bird's nest maybe in the tower. You can see the lake beyond sort of just stretches out with nice rolling lapping waves. So
anything that looks like it could be a platform for landing on 10 to 20 feet off the ground? Okay.
The bird's nest would be a platform, and if you were to appear 10 feet below it, you would just appear in air and fall.
Okay. I'm going to... Does it look like there are any eggs in the bird's nest?
No. Looks eggless.
Okay. That's good. All right. So I'm going to keep that in mind. I think it's been about 3 weeks at this point, so not much longer until Malachi's back. Okay. I'm going to go relay this news to the temple, though, that apparently Riftwatch has been destroyed.
Okay. So you go... Okay.
Yeah, Riftwatch has been destroyed, and the current status of the temple at the end of the world is inconclusive.
Well, that's not good. Not
at all. I was hoping to meet with the high clerics of Solemn, but if they're otherwise indisposed, we might need to try and rally our strength here in Arcadia. Have I informed you as to what's been happening with the news to the north?
I do believe we've chatted a little bit about it, but which north news are you talking about this time?
The heap of flesh growing out of heat stroke.
I do believe you mentioned something like that to me. It seems like a distant problem.
It's an otherworldly entity that's been spreading. It's currently covering most of the desert around heat stroke, gradually making its way to Plainsview. It absorbs the souls of anything that it covers. And it brings them into this writhing, centralized mass.
That's not a good thing.
No, I spoke with Hydroxus, the dragon, about it. She, I don't remember. Dragons all look the same to me.
You spoke with the dragon?
Yes, the Mist Dragon, near the island Misty Valley.
Uh-huh.
She told me that our world is likely to end. If that, yes. So...
I see.
We might need to start rallying forces. Do we have any large cleric organizations left in Arcadia? I know that the temple in Eridon is gone.
Not that I am aware of. Each church, as you know, tends to be focused solely around the settlement it works for, without much interplay between them.
How many clerics do you think are left on this continent?
That's a great question. She thinks aloud. Let's see. If you average 5 clerics per town, to account for the 1 or 2 clerics per town plus the random ones in villages, then we can just count the number of towns and multiply by 5, and that should give us a rough number of clerics. Right?
Sure.
So in Drekis... No, hold on. Let's just look at the resource distribution. She's going to do some quick math and determine...
with my mathematics skills, I have the mathematics proficiency, I believe. Let me double check that.
There should be about 500 clerics.
Okay, that's not bad at all.
But that's across all of Arcadia, and that doesn't account for the destruction, those that might have perished in the war, or those cities that might have been destroyed. And again, in times of chaos, more clerics tend to appear than in times of peace, so somewhere in the 500 ballpark.
Okay, if I can get a little bit stronger, I could use a spell to try and call all these clerics together.
Do you think you could get all the clerics from all the different faiths, from the different countries that are at war with each other, to unify over anything?
Our mission to the divine is more important than our mission to our countries, is it not?
It is.
If our world is about to end from this existential threat, then do we not have an obligation to stand together for it?
You are speaking my language. You've convinced me. I don't know if you can convince the others, but...
Well, if I can get a little bit stronger, I could send thought waves to all of them. Well, with time. I don't suppose you're capable of such a task.
Thought wave?
Yeah, it's a 5th level spell. If you need that.
I know that is beyond my capabilities.
I've done it once, but I had to empower myself a little bit. I can't do it repeatedly yet.
I see. Well, it's beyond my ability to do, unfortunately.
Do you know any clerics stronger than the 2 of us?
The high cleric in Wicthron Rarenta is a powerful caster.
It might behoove us to speak to him then.
Yes. Wicthron. Oh god, how the fuck do you spell this? Who would name a town this stupid?
Yeah, I don't know. Who came up with all this Wick stuff?
I don't know. Someone must have loved John Wick, the movie.
Is that actually what it is now?
No, it's not. No, these names these are pre-John Wick names.
Yeah.
Although Fort Wick from Frofro was named after John Wick, and then it just conveniently worked with all these other Wicks, and I was like, oh, that's sweet.
Nice. All right, okay. Nice.
Yeah. Oh, good. I don't think I have any information about the High Cleric in Wicthron Rarenta. I think I have 0 information, in fact, which is perfect.
Because it means that we could make him up.
It means I can do anything. I'm not bound by my previous decisions. It's beautiful.
Okay. So it looks like I've still got a little... How long is the journey to Wicthron Rarenta? That's a mouthful.
From here, 55 plus 31
I've done it before.
plus 15.
I just don't remember.
So this is what, like...
Oh, right. You have like the markings on the roads now.
Yeah, it's like 2 or 3 days to Grumpern, 1 day to Fenden, 1 day, half a day to Wicthron Rarenta. So 1, 2, 3, 4 or 5 days.
Okay.
Not including combat encounters.
Is that assuming you're taking a carriage?
Yes, that's assuming you're in a carriage or on a horse.
Okay, maybe I should wait for Malachi to arrive then, and we could try to teleport. I'd been there before. What are some good candidates for teleportation into Wicthron Rarenta? We've both been there, actually.
You've both been there.
I've gotten in. I teleport to before.
We could teleport into our inn room, right? Was that like directly above an open floor?
The inn was on the 2nd floor, so there's probably some room below it. You might end up in a table or in someone else's bed or something like that, but There is room below it. You've been in the castle, which I think you guys were staying on the second or third floor of a castle when you were there.
Yep.
And you've been in a few rooms in that castle, if I recall correctly.
Yeah, that is an option that we could do.
Castle's good, because the rooms are probably higher than 10 foot, meaning that even if you roll low, you're unlikely to be like in a table because the rooms are probably like 20 foot high.
That's true. Okay, yeah, I can do that one thing. Rapport to help you with the castle. We just have to make sure that we go in and are like, hi, we're not supposed to be here, but this is an emergency.
Yeah.
Yeah, you might get in a little trouble by teleporting into a castle if anyone sees you.
I will literally just go up and tell somebody, like, this is an emergency. I need to speak to the High Cleric.
It's a great way to, I don't know. That's interesting, because that's also exactly what an intruder might say. Hold on, it's an emergency. Sorry, excuse me.
Oh, yeah, no, I'm gonna wrap up my weapons and stuff. I don't want to, make people freak out.
Quick story time, guys.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. So this year, I was at Burning Man, and there was this big maze that was fenced off, and it was you got to go find these secret tickets that are scattered around the 5 square miles in order to get into the giant maze. Blah, blah, blah. And they weren't letting anyone in who hadn't found a ticket. And then some guy who's got a megaphone comes charging through, being everyone get out of the way. Skrillex is coming. Get the fuck out of the way. And it's charges for the front door to get on through. And all the spectators move past, and the guards on the door start to move apart. This guy literally has nobody following him, but he's just emphatically being Skrillex is coming. We gotta get through. And he almost manages to just bullshit his way into this head maze until the last door guard is wait a minute, hold on. First off, he's not here, but even if he is, he can't come in. This is still closed. But his confidence of just yelling into a microphone that get out of my way was beautiful, and it almost worked.
One of the best ways to get away with that is to pretend that you're supposed to be there. Of course I'm doing this. This is, what else was I gonna do?
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, so it might work, or it also might someone be hey, wait a minute, are you trying to pull a fast one?
Yeah. Well, it's funny because that's actually that's a literal skill in Hackmaster called fast talking, where you just try and confuse somebody with your string of bullshit to get them to go along with whatever you're saying, while you just try and strong arm your way into a situation.
You mean the Donald Trump approach? Yes.
Yeah, a little bit like that.
All right. Story time is over.
All right. So yeah, I'm gonna wait a few days because if I travel, Malachi will have to wait a little bit. So if I wait for him, it will be about as fast anyways because he can teleport us.
And you're also Van Helsing, the Cleric of Chiefs, a well-known figure.
Yeah, and I've been there before.
Charisma.
I've literally stayed in the castle numerous times.
Yeah, with your charisma, you're likely to bullshit through anything.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, so what else would you like to do before Mally shows up?
Good old Mally.
That's the big one. So Riftwatch is destroyed. With that news, I'm gonna go and ask if she knows any other places in Solemn that aren't tied to the Temple at the End of the World, like a major city in Solemn.
Oh yes, of course. Let's see. Major cities in Solemn. I think the biggest one that I'm aware of is Tide's End. It's a massive city. I think it dwarfs Wicthon or Stromheim by a factor of 10 or 20.
Okay.
Let's see. There's one more. Oh, what was that place named? It had it was similar to Bergshire, but spookier. Rathburg or she'll go and do some research, and it'll take her a little while. And she'll come back to you later that day or the next day, and with a list of names, including Valesburg, which is the name that she was struggling for. And where is another city that she might know?
Let's go with Valesburg. That sounds nice.
I do believe there's a city somewhere far to the north called Rayquan. Something like that.
That sounds borderline copyright infringing. Let's go with Valesburg.
Valesburg. Okay.
So I've got a few days left until Malachi gets here. Let's see if I can scry. No, I don't think it's okay. We got it.
There you go.
On day 4. I'm trying to scry a little bit closer. I want to see if Valesburg looks like it's destroyed the same way that everything else was.
No, Valesburg is a proper town. There are walls, there's people going about, there are these large banners with big black banners with white V's impressed in them all over the place.
Okay.
You can see the symbol of Verasi, alive and well, covering the city.
Oh, that's great. Tell me, do you know what's been going on in Solemn recently?
I haven't the foggiest, actually.
Has our continent received word from them in any time in recent years?
If you want to ask about the entire continent, I'm sure someone out here has, but I'm just a lowly cleric from Bontheris, and I don't get to know any of this information.
This is foreboding. First, I can't find any way into the temple at the end of the world, and it seems like the pilgrimage location to it has been destroyed, and now I see a town that's flying the banners of Verasi. I mean, here we fly the banners for all the gods, right?
We do. Yes.
And they
some are better
exclusive.
Than others.
Yes, Verasi can be kind of a bitch, and I just lean in on So what do you think this means?
In days long past here in Arcadia, right after the gods wrecked the world and smashed it and broke it apart and created the canals, there were some religious wars here where powerful clerics gathered together large numbers of followers under the banner of a single god or goddess and conquered large swaths of land, creating kingdoms or warlord pacts, to specific deities or in honor of specific deities. Perhaps the poor fools over on the other side of the pond have fallen into for lack of a better word, a great Verasi cult.
That's not good.
No. Of all the gods to lead an army to conquer lands or for people to gather round, the goddess of death does not seem like the most enjoyable one.
Goddess of death and destruction, right?
Death and destruction, yes.
Yeah, it sounds even less good. Well, I think this might be putting more clout on our idea of contacting all the clerics in Arcadia. This might be a problem that we have to solve ourselves.
Well, do make sure, if you're going to do that you get it right the first time. You know the story of the boy who cried wolf? If you gather all the clerics and can't convince them the first time around, I doubt you'll get a second attempt. So be ready.
That's why I plan to gather more allies. The High Cleric of Wictron Orenta is quite powerful, is he not?
I do believe so.
Then that's a good indicator that perhaps having his voice, if I can sway him to our cause, will add some what's the word I'm looking for? Some
gravitas?
Sure. That works.
Excellent. And I think that kind of eats up all your time?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, there's probably like a few extra days, but
well,
yeah.
In those few extra days, you just have to deal with Jeeves.
I'm entertaining and hosting our knights and knight/mage.
Mm-hmm. Right. Who has asked for access to Malachi's library just to peruse his stuff that he has left behind. It could be useful. If he's gonna fight these demons at the end of the world, he might need access to powerful spells. It would only help in your end cause.
Yeah, no, Van is 100% on board with that. He's like, oh, yeah. I think Malachi gave me access to his library, and I'll go check for him.
Malachi, did you leave any books behind? You probably left most of your stuff, right?
I wouldn't have left spell books behind. That's all on my character sheet, but there's probably all sorts of stuff down there, yeah.
All right. There's maybe notebooks.
So it's probably a very useful so it's probably a very useful library for spell research.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and there'll be maybe stuff about the portal that I was trying to make.
Yeah.
The wizard airship, perhaps.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He will research and read. All right.
Maybe stuff about Falstaff and Rohanna as well.
And Malachi, you will now return to Bontheris and meet up with your long-lost buddy.
Okay, well, I teleport into my study first. Do I find a rando down there?
Yes. You arrive in your study. Does teleport spell make noise? I feel like there should be some sort of like noise.
I think there should be like an audible pop when he comes into existence.
Pop, and like a little bit of smoke. Yeah.
Yeah, a little bit of that. I like that.
All right. So you pop into existence as a young man kind of whirls around from your desk to look at you, eyes wide, in shock. You can see that he's got your notebook in hand.
Oh my
and he's surrounded by like coffee cups and stuff. And he blinks at you.
I say, "Are you from the circus?" And then I color spray him.
All right, he's not surprised. So roll me initiative.
Okay.
Oh, it's incredible.
3.
Oh. 9. All right, you beat him.
I think he's automatically color sprayed because he's not level 6.
No, he's pretty low level, if I recall correctly.
Yeah, and I think color spray is just like easy win until you're dealing with things like 6+.
Yeah.
Yeah. Does he get a save even?
I don't think so. I'm double checking.
I don't think he does. All right, so he passes out. I go over to the desk and look at his face.
Look at his what?
The circus. His face.
No, you've never seen this man before.
No, he's seen him. He met him because he was with me when we tested.
Oh yeah. I probably don't
All
remember.
right. It clicks. Oh yeah, that's that guy from last year that we hired. Oh yeah. Whoops.
Okay, I look at what he was reading. If it was like incriminating, I look around the desk. There's nothing too incriminating.
He is reading your notes on your portal creation.
Okay, that's all right. I feel a little bad. I'd make sure he's sat all right in the seat. I've got I open a drawer and pull out a light stone, and I was thinking about this the other day. I've got like a little thing that I roll a light stone into the wall, and it shines a light upstairs in the mansion. It goes through a little tunnel so that Van knows that I'm in there.
Oh, so you
so it's like
you
a
put
little
the light stone here, and it reflects off of a mirror through a tunnel or whatever, and you can kind of bing, I'm in the office.
Yeah.
I like it.
So I'll do that, and then I'll go I'll look at the guy. He's only passed out for a few minutes, isn't he? Maybe I'll
2d4 minutes.
I'll wait with him. I'll roll a 2d4.
Yeah. Okay.
So if you signal the light stone, I'll probably head down.
It's 4 minutes. So.
All right. He'll wake up in a little bit as Van arrives.
Van, it's good to see you.
It's good to see you too. It's been a long time. Is Frank doing okay?
Frank? Oh, this guy.
Fuck is Frank?
That's his name, right?
Oh, it's Frank. Right.
Sorry, I wasn't expecting him to be down here. Nah, he's all right though. He'll wake up. What have you been up to?
Oh, all sorts of things. Well, you know the fleshy mass coming out of heat stroke?
Vaguely, yeah.
It's an otherworldly sort of hive mind entity that absorbs the souls of those that it destroys and is slowly creeping over the entirety of our world.
Oh my god. The thing with all this stuff is I feel a little bit responsible about it all.
You probably should. You did leave the door open.
Well, Gale left it open, but yeah.
I spoke with Hydroxus, and it sounds like the dragons might be leaving in mass. I believe Sky is dead.
These dragons? Sky, that's a brash dragon, right?
Yeah, the one who lived in the desert.
It's dead. It's weird. I've spoken
covered up by the mass. Hydroxus fled the Misty Valley and is returning to their own world.
Shit. So you spoke to 2 dragons?
I didn't speak to Sky. Sky was already dead.
Oh, that's good. I was worried. I've been speaking to a dragon as well, actually.
Oh, yeah?
In the mountains. Yeah, I've been trying to track down this... I don't think you will have heard of him. It's this wizard guy called Falstaff. He was around when Koibu was first becoming a country, I think.
Doesn't ring a bell.
Buried out in the middle of the ashen wastes with all this magical gear. I tracked down the entrance to the tomb. Red Desert.
This sounds like a terrible idea that's going to get you killed.
Well, that's why I've come back for you.
We can't go plundering every lost tomb, Malachi. The world is ending.
We'll teleport over there, in and out in a few days. Grab the stuff, grab whatever. I don't know. Maybe there's other stuff down there for priestly things, and then we can go and use it to go and kill these. Well, what is the plan anyway? I don't know.
We need to go to Wicthbronarenta. I need to speak to the High Cleric there. He's powerful, perhaps more powerful than myself. There's a spell that some clerics get. I will have it later. but he might have it now. The ability to contact people at a distance. You remember I used it for you once. To contact.
Oh yes, yeah. I can message people as well if I know their name, but
well, I don't need to know a name with it. I can lump them into general categories and send it out. So I could gradually, over the course of a week or so, contact every cleric on the continent.
Trying to gather an army.
That's the plan.
Is it not maybe better just for the two of us to sneak in there and deal with it ourselves rather than provoke a battle?
I think we're going to need more than just the two of us. If it's going to be the two of us, I think it'll probably involve an air raid using that wizard airship. I was talking about that before, but nobody else seemed to like that plan.
Yeah, I don't know about that. Pretty grouchy up there. There's this little
I mean,
yeah.
with your stunning charisma, you might be able to sway them to our cause.
Maybe. But
if the world is destroyed, they probably won't be long to follow it.
Yeah, that's the kind of reasoning that's failed us before, though, on a number of similar endeavors.
Yes. Anyways, I think first order of business needs to be traveling to Wickthorn or Renta. Are you doing okay, Frank?
What? Huh? What's going on?
You,
Did I fall asleep? No, wait!
Yeah, it looks like it.
Oh, I'm so sorry, Mr. Master Malachi.
Well, yeah, I think you probably should be sorry, Frank, but it's all right.
I gave him access. He didn't come down here uninvited.
Well, yeah, he'd be a pile of ash if he had. That's fine. Don't worry about it, Frank. I grab him by the hand and pull him to his feet and shake his hand. Don't worry about it.
Shakes your hand back. Sorry, of course.
So you want to go and speak to the cleric in the capital?
That's the plan. He might be able to do what I cannot. Plus, having him if we can sway him to our cause, that will lend some legitimacy to my claims.
But what is I don't know if this army is the way to go. Like, what else have you found out about it?
It's not an army so much as I don't know if wizards have this capability, but clerics can cooperate when we cast spells. We can weave our magic together to create something more potent than what we could alone.
Yeah, I think you've mentioned that before. Okay, I guess
we might be able to contain it. At the very least, it might be a stopgap measure while we find something more permanent.
Well, I suppose we could go and speak to this guy, but you sure I can't convince you to come to the desert with me? It won't take too long.
Perhaps after. I don't know. Perhaps if it's something that'd be useful for you, then it might be worth the time. It'll probably take time for him to contact all the clerics, even if we can convince them.
You look like on the verge of a breakthrough in skill. Perhaps something like this could deliver you to a new level of understanding.
Who knows? The gods do seem to be very, very generous with their clerics who are excellent at plundering lost tombs.
Yeah, exactly. All right, you want to? Should we go with Jeeves, or do you want to teleport there?
I think Jeeves has earned his retirement. If he's going to be swallowed up by this fleshy mass, he might as well do it in comfort and luxury.
Let's just ask him, though, because you know how he is. I think he gets...
Right. Well, I was going to say we teleport there.
Yeah, maybe it's better.
It'd be faster, for sure.
Definitely faster.
There's a room in the castle, which I don't think we're technically allowed to teleport into, but it would be... There's some nice open space, both above and below, in case you happen to miss. I can... I get ready. I think I can have 2 rapports per day? Yeah. So I got 2 rapports available.
Didn't you tell me you were sleeping with the princess anyway? I feel like...
It was a bit of a tryst. I don't know if it's going to. I don't think it'll lead to anything.
Yeah, but it's got to at least. If the gods find us, it might, probably not.
Oh yeah, perhaps. I think if I'm walking around, people know me there. It probably won't end too poorly. I'm gonna bind up all my weapons in cloth. Oh, I guess I only have the one now because I gave one of the. I think I gave Wind Shear. No, I gave Harvest Moon to what was her name? Was it Bella?
I don't know. I just have a mark that one is a +2 sword and one is a +1 sword. What is Harvest Moon?
the dual wielder? I think her name is Bella. I think.
Yeah.
Because one was named Lucilla, something like that.
Lucilla, Frank, and Bella.
Okay.
Yeah. Belle. Belle. I don't
That's
know how
Belle.
it's pronounced.
Yeah,
Belle.
it's just Belle.
All right.
Okay, so Belle's the dual wielder. Lucilla was the She was the sword and board fighter, right?
Yes.
And then
yes.
Frank's the fighter mage. Okay.
Yes, I have their character sheets. Oh, thank God I made character sheets. Oh. Are
we moving on to this dealing with heat stroke rather than trying to recover Mother Elisa's souls from the Gorgon.
I think this might be the greater priority.
Maybe
and solving one problem might help solve the other. This mass collects souls very much like that Gorgon was. It's not too different of a process by what I saw.
I think like if we can get this other cleric guy to do the assembling, then there's no harm in that. But I do think that we should have a better idea of what we're getting ourselves in for before we just show up there with a bunch of clerics. Well,
I can tell you this. I have a riddle for you if you want to puzzle it out.
Go on.
I don't know exactly what it means, but I can tell you it's absolutely true of the mass growing out of heat stroke. The ravenous cannibal born in the land where dragons cannot fly. This person's heart was fickle and more, yearning for what they most deplore. The colony ever grows, feeding on hands and toes. It commands and devours, but beware its magical powers.
So it eats people to grow the flesh?
That's what I'm guessing.
Neal, it's difficult for me to separate what I know from...
yeah, that's a real problem.
So how much does Malachi know about the demon plane? Like 0, nothing?
0, yeah.
Okay, all right, fine.
Bagel.
Well, I don't know. It says it's magical. It sounds dangerous, but, like, surely we could scout it out from the skies, perhaps.
Maybe. That'd be something that we'd want the airship for, I would guess.
Or I could fly over as a bird or something.
That might work. I'm a little bit worried. This thing has magical powers. It might be able to detect you flying over.
Yeah, maybe.
You might be in danger if you do it yourself.
If it killed a dragon, perhaps. It's dangerous.
Right. What is this music coming from? Oh, it's in Roll20 itself. Okay. I need to turn it down a little bit.
Oh, no, we don't have a Discord group for the audio here, do we?
No, you're in it, but no one else was in it when I was in it earlier, so I just left it and started playing stuff through Roll20 instead.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I forgot about that.
All right.
We can do that.
Yeah, I'll hop onto the Discord.
All right. We'll do it this way.
Oh, I have to... Right. I forgot. I haven't re-downloaded it. There we go.
There we go. All right. I'll do it proper through tabletop audio now.
Perfect. All
right. Why don't we go and speak to this cleric then and see what he's got to say? If he's as powerful as you think he might be, then,
That's exactly my thought. It's exactly my thought, but I'm hearing doubles of you, Malachi. Is something wrong? What's wrong with your voice? You're on this.
Sorry, it was a spell gone awry. Don't worry about it. I need a night to rest before I can teleport, so it's been a while. I've been out on the road. Do you fancy why don't we head into town and get a drink?
Sure.
All right, you guys can head into town, head over to your local tavern, and we're going to take our first break here, and when we come back from break, we'll get the party underway.
Okay.
See you guys on the other side. Bye-bye.